Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm back with another Bible journaling entry using the Homebound devotional kit from Open.Journey. I do have another process video that I've done before, so I'll link that down below for you guys, as well as the unboxing if you're curious to see what all comes in this kit. But we are going to do kind of a fairly simple entry today. I'm working on the section in the devotional where it's talking about consecrating or committing everything that you do to God. And so this entire devotional is all about our homebound journey, our journey to heaven, and what, we're kind of called to do while we're here during that pilgrimage time to the end of time. And so we're talking about how everything that we do while we are here needs to be committed and consecrated to God. And I really love what Ingrid shares in the devotional for this section, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. And I have pulled out a few different things. So rather than doing an entry that's like visually specific to the verse or the devotional content, I just wanted to kind of play with some of the products. I'll do some journaling, some prayer journaling, and that's where I'll tie it in with the verse. I am journaling in Psalm 37, verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act." And I pulled out several of the floral die-cut pieces that come with the kit. If you do the digital version, I believe that you get these graphics as well, and then you can just print them on whatever medium that you want. But I've picked out several different die-cut pieces. I'm going to be playing with some gelatos once again for the background. I want to create kind of an abstract, leafy, sky type background behind these floral pieces, but keeping it very, very simple. And I've got the stencil, a couple other stickers and things like that. So let me go ahead and put you on fast forward and we will get this entry put together. Okay, so once again, I'm just working on a bare page. There's no gesso or anything like that on there. And I'm going in with a couple lighter colors of gelatos. This is Aqua Dolce and Creme de Menthe, and just kind of scribbling them on the page. And then I'm taking a damp baby wipe to blend that around. I'm also adding in a little bit of coconut just to kind of help things blend. And this is kind of be my sky or my base for everything else that I'm going to do. Now, I didn't dry this, it's still a little bit damp, and I'm going in with the gelatos and creating some leaves and stems and just some greenery to this bottom corner where the floral die cuts are gonna go. A lot of this gets covered up, so it doesn't need to be perfect, and I'm kind of just creating little sketchy shapes, nothing fancy, just using the edge of the gelato. And because the page is still a little bit damp and I can use the oils in my finger to kind of blend and rub out some of those lines and leaves and things like that. So I'm going in with, I think I've got green tea, margarita mix, and spearmint is the one that I'm using here. So just a variety of greens, and like I said, a lot of this gets covered up. This is just giving you some dimension and interest that's going to go behind those floral elements just to kind of help everything blend together. And it's just kind of fun to get messy and using your fingers, kind of like finger painting. And here I'm just laying out the flowers to kind of see where I need some more of anything, whether it be leaves or stems, and you can see the vast majority of it gets covered up. And so part of this is just the process for me. Part of it's just thinking about the verse, thinking about the devotional content while I do this process. So even though most of it gets covered up, it's just, like I said, part of the process for me. It's just part of the devotional time in its entirety. This is just what makes my brain work, is getting creative while I'm thinking about things and studying things or praying over things. And so it's just all of that kind of comes together for me. So I'm going back in and adding a little bit of the Aqua Dolce and the Creme de Menthe just to fill in the background and smudge out some other areas. You could really get fun with, get crazy with this technique with a variety of entries and die cuts, just using your gelatos to give you kind of an abstract background. And the nice thing about doing the digital version of the kit or getting the digital ephemera is that you can, do this over and over and over again. You could print these flowers in a variety of sizes on a variety of mediums and just kind of go crazy and do similar entries as you work through the entire devotional if you wanted to. So now I'm going in and just adhering everything down. I did not dry the page at this point. It is still a little bit damp, but because I just used a baby wipe and not like a wet paintbrush, it's not super, super wet, so I can kind of continue on and be sticking things down. And I think that this would be a great technique if you're on the go, if you're traveling, because it doesn't take very many, products. It's just some gelatos and die cuts and adhesive, and you don't, have to have a big, huge space set up or a lot of tools. It's just sticking things down and creating kind of an abstract background. So I'm using some more of the die cut pieces up there just to kind of give myself an anchoring point for the word consecrate. I am making sure I add that since that is what the devotional content is talking about. And as I'm adding all these little pieces, I keep finding little more flowers on my desk that I had forgot to put into this bunch when I pulled them all out. So I'm going to slowly be adding those back in as I go through here. The physical kit does come with some clear stickers, and that's where this word consecrate came from. You could also print it on clear sticker paper if you have the digital version. I'm going to go in with the stencil, and it has these 3 little crosses in the stencil. So I'm just taking that same baby wipe to pick up some of the black licorice gelato and just kind of stamping that color through the stencil. I'm not really rubbing, I'm kind of tapping it. And that way I'm not rubbing my page, because I am working in the illustrating Bible, so you want to make sure that you're not rubbing too much, but also I get a better concentration of color if I'm just tapping the color through the stencil. The baby wipe does kind of dilute color, so just keep that in mind if you use that method for applying gelatos. One thing that I tried to be conscious about was keeping the gelatos to the area where I wasn't going to be writing, because ultimately gelatos are very, very, very difficult to write over with. I've tried a variety of different pens. Nothing is 100%, so I'm just trying to keep it down in that corner. There's a little bit of gelato kind of peeking up over my flower bunch, and I will go in and write my journaling over the top of that, and I have some issues. So you could kind of deal with that by typing out your journaling, or putting it on a tag or a card, something like that. But if you're going to be working with gelatos, just keep in mind they are very difficult to write over. And at the top, I just created a little tab cluster, again, just using a variety of die cuts and things from the kit. That little word Homebound was a die cut from the kit. There was like a whole little section of the word Homebound repeated so that you could add them to your tabs. I'm going to take the word commit here from the sticker sheet, and then we'll go ahead and add in our journaling. I am using a T-square ruler just to give myself some lines. And here you'll see I have some skipping and some problems with trying to color over the gelatos. The gelatos are nice because they are permanent once they are dry, but they do maintain kind of a waxy finish that's difficult to write over if you've never used them before. Went ahead and just took a wet paintbrush and picked up some of the black pigment from that black gelato and added some little splashes, and that is going to be it for the entry today. You can see no bleed through from those. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.